Oh, it looks like this was okay. It was deleted on Facebook. Hold on to stream. I got to do a new or just remove this destination from the broadcast and redo it. But we're live on YouTube.
All right.
Huh?
All right.
All right. So we'll just do let's see. We'll just do YouTube. All right. So we got people coming on. Hello, hello, hello. Tafari's drinking his wine, and I'm drinking a mystery drink.
What's your? Can you share your mystery?
I can't share my mystery drink. Who knows who's watching?
Okay. Okay. I hear you.
So anyway, while people are coming on, I see people are coming on. Um, I wonder if we should just okay. Anyway, it's been crazy. So let me share what happened. I don't know. I was having some technical difficulties, computer issues,
Okay.
and it ended up making me come late. And so the Facebook Live was deleted. And now it's just on YouTube. So Tafari and I was talking. Tafari called me on, I think, Wednesday or something after my live on Monday.
Yeah.
And then he was like asking me about these different types of orgasms. And so we started talking about the different types of orgasms. And then we were like, let's just do a live on this. Because, I mean, the questions you're asking, I'm sure a lot of men have those same questions too. And I'm sure there's a lot of things that you've discovered that you could probably share with other men and other women too. So I was like, this would be a good live to talk about orgasms with men and women to continue this month of masturbation month, May. And for this month of May, masturbation month, it's really just been all women coming on. So for this month, you're the first guy. So it's an honor to have you. You should be honored too.
I am honored. I'm totally honored. Every time I watch your videos, I'm like, she has some amazing people on here, some amazing women. And like the first few of them, I fell in love. I'm like, oh my God, I love this person. And
Right.
always educational and always funny.
Yes. Yes. So let's start by introducing yourself. Tell people who you are, what you do, so we can get to know Tafari Stevenson Howard.
All right. I'm Tafari and I do it. I'm Tafari Stevenson Howard, and I am a professional photographer, and I am also a sound meditation facilitator based in Detroit, Michigan. I've been a professional photographer now for a little over 15 years, and I delved into the world of meditation over the last several years, with last year being the first year of me launching my new organization, Sankofa Mind and Body, which is a sound meditation and sound healing centered practice. I study and have a practice based here in Detroit, but I also travel around the world. And that's how I met Renee while visiting Rio de Janeiro last year. We had a chance to do some work. And it looks like I'm still here, but Renee is not. Did I just take over her live?
You did. You took it over. Go ahead, you take it over.
I'm taking over your live. Okay, great. So Renee and I met last year. We did we did a workshop in Brazil, and we just stayed in touch ever since. But our worlds kind of collided on several different fronts: A, from an energy level; B, from a work and professional level; and then C, really truly as friends. And since I've been knowing her, actually, I've learned quite a bit. And I think we've been doing a lot of energy and information transfer, and that's been a lot of fun. And that led us again to like a conversation that we had the other day, based on the live that she did with a sex surrogate or a sex doula who was based in Hawaii. I listened to that while I was out gardening in my yard. I was literally planting a salad garden, which I'm sitting outside of right now. So
is that code for like tossing salad?
We don't do that outside. That's only indoors.
Right.
on the inside. But 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 that led to the conversation that we had because I listened to that live, and your guest said some very interesting things that made me think about other things that I've heard, things that I've experienced. But I honestly never like had an intimate conversation with anybody about some of these topics. I just do what I do, and we do what we do, and that's it. Like most people.
Yeah. And you know what? And this is why I'm so happy to have you on here as a male, because I know that in general, we don't have these topics. And this is why I'm doing this. Like, we don't have these conversations. And it's so important for us to be able to have these conversations about sex and get rid of the taboo on sex. And so I know that for a lot of women, we don't necessarily talk a lot. We're starting to more and more now, but a lot of girls don't talk to their moms about it and different things like that. So hearing you say that this is not a conversation that you've had has been interesting, because I just kind of thought men just naturally talk about sex and things like that. So how is the conversation with men?
Yeah, we talk about sex. I talk about it all the time, and I talk about sex with all my friends, my female friends, my male friends. But it's and when we talk about sex, more often we're talking about fucking.
Right.
We're talking about fucking. Period. Fucking. We don't have conversations really that surround intimacy,
Right.
and the things that bring us to actually orgasm, which is intimacy, and being able to connect on a different level of physical being with a partner or partners, depending on the situation. So I think that men get together. Yeah, I did this, I did that. We're gonna do this or whatever, whether it's built into it or not. No one's really having that conversation. Well, yeah, man, I was kissing on her neck, and she was shivering, and I said, some random shit, sunflowers.
Right. And then she's like, oh.
Yeah. They don't say that. It's, I fucked that bitch from the back. Right. I mean, stuff like that, Not really. That's just me being an ass.
That's hilarious.
It really did really stir some curiosity, some like honest curiosities, especially, being older and wanting to, whether you're in a relationship or maintaining relationships, I think it's important to understand what's working in your life, your sex life, what's not working in your sex life, what you can do to enhance, what you can do to learn. I mean, you can teach an old dog new tricks. I believe in that when it comes to the bedroom, but it takes skill, it takes patience, it takes an open mind.
Right.
But
And I think those
to maintain intimacy.
Yes. So I just want to thank people who are coming on. Say hello. Just let us know you're on here. Say hello. If you have any questions, the topic is going to be about the different types of orgasms. We're going to be talking from the male perspective, the female perspective. If you have any questions, feel free to write those questions down so you can get to them and answer them. So awesome. So what was it that you had asked about? You heard our talk, me and Amina, on Monday. And what was it that you had said?
Well, two things. The first thing that she said that really got me excited was, I don't need anyone to help me orgasm. I can orgasm sitting on the beach in the sun, or something to that effect. And I was like, ooh, like I know that. Like I know that feeling for myself, right?
Right.
And then there was another one. I can't remember it specifically, but that one, oh no. When she talked about squirting, that's where it came. The conversation actually like really initiated between you and I, when she had talked about squirting and knowing how to squirt and all of those things. And it led me to have a deeper conversation with myself while I was out here planting this garden, or questions. I'm like, I have a partner, or have had partners, and there's been, more often than not, an orgasm.
Right.
And wasn't nobody lying to me.
Right.
So like women, oh, I had an orgasm, or I'm having multiple orgasms, or I've never had an orgasm.
Right,
Those are things that we hear.
right,
And then more recently, I think honestly, for me, over the last maybe like 10 years, I've been hearing, oh, I'm a squirter, or I made a squirt, or or whatever. Like, squirting is like a whole thing now. Maybe it
right.
was, or maybe it was just off my radar in terms of a discussion about it. But when she talked about squirting, it made me think women have a hard time, in some cases, having orgasms. They don't know how to orgasm, or they don't know how to make themselves orgasm. And then there's this whole squirting thing, and they're separate. So
Hmm.
my question was, do women want to squirt? Is an
Right,
orgasm enough? Do they want to squirt? Is that a conversation that women are having? Like, they want
right,
to make them
right.
squirt. You want
And
to
so
make
this,
them
so this is the thing. Squirting has been so controversial. Like, there's been people who say squirting doesn't exist, women are just peeing. Then there's others that say it exists. And obviously it exists. I mean, there is a thing called female ejaculate, right? And so, and when a woman squirts, it's clear, there's no smell of urine, it's not yellow at all. So it definitely exists. And so PB asked really quick, is that something we all can do? Yes, all women can squirt. So, and this is the thing, I'm not sure if all women aspire to be a squirter, but all women have that capability. And so I want to say this, women, that power is in your hands to be able to have multiple orgasms or squirt. And it has nothing to do with the man, nothing at all. Sorry, man, I'm so sorry to bust your ego, but
squirt?
it really doesn't. Because a lot of men, they feel good, like, ooh, she squirted, and it had nothing to do with you. Obviously, you helped, you were there, and that connection is good. But for women to squirt or have multiple orgasms, the woman has to work on her mind, because women are very mental, whereas men are not so much mental. They're physical, they can see, they get aroused really easily. Women, if we're pissed off or we had a stressful day, we're not going to be able to allow our bodies to have multiple orgasms or to squirt. If we're upset with this man and we're like, yeah, he wasn't acting right and da 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 da, but she had sex with you, it ain't gonna happen. Or it could be with her, male or female partner, whoever she has.
Mhm.
So she has to be able to be in that place where she's trusting, she's not upset or angry with her partner. She's able to be vulnerable, and that's the hardest thing for women, to make ourselves vulnerable. We have to really trust our partner to become vulnerable and surrender. And those are the keys. And then the other key is being able to relax. Because if you're tense, and what happens a lot of times for women, we're having sex and then we tense up, our legs tense, our butts tense, like everything. It's hard, it's almost impossible to squirt in that condition. So you have to train yourself to breathe. And this is why in a lot of my tantric courses, I teach breath work. And so all of my tantric courses, even the ones that I've been doing virtually, we're doing breath work, we're doing movement to really help you to relax your body, release, all of that repression that's stored in your body, so you can get to that point where you can have orgasms or you can squirt. You know. So how do you feel hearing that? Like,
No, that's enough. So now I'm like, okay, so now like let's talk. So you're saying that, it's, of course, the woman has to be like in the right mental space, or right mental, emotional space. But I think it's also important that if a partner is involved, the partner has to create and continue to create that safety and security to let their woman be vulnerable, to open up to that. I think that that's key. But I don't know. I think that there may be levels to it. When it comes to the G spot, what's going to push your button. And I mean, because I've seen some situations where there's just like some straight up banging, and it's like, like, is she gonna get broken in two? Like what? And then next thing you know,
Right.
it's like, what the fuck just happened? Like,
Yes.
so then that made me think. I'm like, can a man make that happen through penetration, through force, or does it depend on the stroke? How you
Okay.
hitting it?
So, okay. So,
In
yeah.
addition to the safety feeling, sexiness, and vulnerability, and all of that.
Right. Yes. So, peace, Ms. Ebony. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Please feel free to ask any questions that you have that as you're coming on about orgasms. So, yes, there are specific types of strokes and different things that you can do to help a woman to have an orgasm or to squirt. So there are hand movements I've put actually on my YouTube. There's tons of videos on how to make a woman squirt. And so if you're doing the G spot, if you're putting your hands and you're getting the G spot and you're doing that come hither movement,
Mm-hmm.
and that can help her to squirt. Yes. So
Like that.
So your hands are gonna go like this, like you're saying, come here, right? And you're doing this. You can do that too with two different hands. You can do that too.
Not just
You
being
can do
silly.
circles.
If we're
Yeah. Yes. And that helps. So those are different things. A woman can squirt through clitoral stimulation, so from oral sex. My first time squirting was through oral sex. I was like 25 years old and I thought I peed. And so my boyfriend at the time, he was 39, 14 years older than me, and he had never seen that happen. So, and I think because I was living with him, and I think I just kind of, I definitely became more vulnerable. I opened up, first time ever living with a guy, so that shows you the level of intimacy.
Mm-hmm.
And when I squirted, I was like, oh shit. And then he was like, you peed. And I was like, shit, I peed. Oh my God, like, how did that happen? And so I was like so embarrassed. I had never talked to anyone about that. I didn't know what squirting was. I had never even heard of squirting. And then the next time, like, we were going to have sex, I was like, all right, let me go pee real quick. So literally I went to the bathroom, I peed, and then it happened again. And I was like, this can't be pee. Because, like, I didn't feel like I had to pee, and I just peed. There's no way pee will come out again. And so that's when I started researching, and I realized I'm squirting. I'm a squirt. I was like, yes. I didn't know what this was, but it felt good. Like, it really did feel really good.
The first time that I had an experience with squirting, I was 17. I was in high school. It was on a Saturday. It was Sweeties Day here in North America, in Michigan, the Midwest. And I had gone out on a date. We went to the movies. We went to the Olive Garden for dinner. I was balling. It was like 1993 or something like that. And we went back to my mom's house. My mom was at work, right? Nobody was at home. So we went back to my mom's house, and we got it on. And I was laying on the floor, and she was riding me. And it was like a serious cowgirl type situation. And I was 17, and I was 18. I had just started having sex. So we were the same age, but she was like advanced. I was like, she was on top of me. I'm like, I saw this on HBO. Okay, do it. And then next thing I know, she's like riding me, and I'll never forget, I had a yellow light in my bedroom and a lava lamp. So the colors were like always interesting in my bedroom. Yeah. And so she was like glowing. And when she had squirted or ejaculated, I just saw like this huge gush. I was like, oh my God, you're peeing on me. And I was feeling like my ass was wet. Everything was wet. Right. It was too fucking much. And like, after that, I stopped dealing with her. I was like, that was too many. So, being a young man, I called my dad.
Right.
called my dad, and I told him what happened. He was just laughing and laughing and laughing. I'm like, it's really not funny. And want to know what his reaction was?
You're like, yes, I'm proud of you.
You were whooping that thing. I'll never forget that. I was on the porch when he said it. It just was like, what? But then later, I learned.
Right.
30s. So,
right.
Like 10, 20 years or something passed when I learned when it became like a thing. So,
right.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the unfortunate thing. Yeah. And that's the unfortunate thing. Like, we really, boys, girls, like, we should have been having these conversations so we can know what's going on in our bodies and what's happening. So we're not freaking out. We're not like, oh my gosh, she peed on me. Because I have so many clients who are actually traumatized by that, by their partner saying, you peed on me, you're horrible, and then it blocks the woman from being able to squirt again. For some time, we have to do work through that. So it's so sad, the blockages that comes from that,
Mm-hmm.
And now all I do is, before my sexual experiences, I prepare the space. I tell the guy, this is what's going to happen. And I was down, prepare the space, and it's all good, because it can be quite messy, and it can damage the mattress. So, you gotta invest in a plastic covering.
But if you're prepared and you're with the right person, that's not. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
So with the mattress cover.
Yes. So PB says, I had asked, what can she do to be more vulnerable? And she says, we have been working on trust and creating a safe space, but I am so uncomfortable with receiving. How can I get more comfortable with receiving? And that is a great question, because women, we have been conditioned to do. We have been conditioned to be a mother, take care of your kids, be a wife, take care of your husband. And so we feel guilty to receive. We feel like, no, we shouldn't be receiving. We need to do, And so for us, we have to work on letting go and starting by receiving. Receiving is by starting by allowing people to do things. And when you start to feel guilty, say, cancel that thought. Cancel. I deserve this. It's okay. And understanding that not deserving of receiving comes from that conditioning. And so for women, we've been taught that, again, that we just have to do for everyone. Do. And it's not okay to receive. If you receive, you're being selfish, you're being greedy, or, we've had so many things like, oh, don't be a bitch, doing this. So, it's like so much conditioning, and which men didn't have in general. I do hate to generalize, but in general, men are more conditioned to receive, to accept. Men are conditioned to be like, oh yeah, I'm the shit. I do everything right. Whereas women,
you want me to provide, then I need you to do.
Right. Yeah, you are the provider. And so you guys are the ones who are doing, and we're just, no, you're the providers, but you're still taught that it's okay to, like, I don't know, men have this like self-esteem that's just like 100, like 100%.
I think it's really just social conditioning, period.
Yeah, it is a good thing.
I don't necessarily think that is a natural thing. I just think it's something that develops based on environment, based on what you're taught. And I think it's really based on what you're taught. And that starts in the home. Mm-hmm. How you communicate, how you establish relationships, how you create communities or environments of safety, how you create environments where communication is granted. And then looking at PB's comment, like, feeling uncomfortable with receiving, where does the conversation, take place with the partner? Will you let them know how uncomfortable you are? And what do you do to open yourself up to receive? Like, that's where, like, your personal toolbox, like, comes in, because that's self-work. Like you
Yeah.
have to figure out like what is my blockage and how can I overcome it to open my heart space up for love so that I can open up my sacral space up for pleasure, for
Yeah.
joy, for communication, for intimacy. So I think that is something like, that heart energy and that sacral energy, and your earthly body, you have to address that earthly body.
Yes. So true. So true. That is so. I love what you just said. That's so amazing. This is why I asked you to be a part of my corporate retreat. So Phoebe, is not set yet, but continue to follow me. Add me on Facebook at Renee Adolphi. I'm going to be doing a retreat, virtual couples retreat, a weekend long, and I asked Tafari to come on and do some sound healing work. So, and we're going to be discussing these things, how to communicate with your partner, because communication is important. And and I think that's one of the things that's going to help, that to just start talking with your partner about how you feel uncomfortable receiving, and letting your partner know it has nothing to do with them.
Mm-hmm.
It's about you and how you've been conditioned, and you feel uncomfortable and you would like to work on that. And pay attention on what areas that you're uncomfortable with receiving. What does your partner do in trying to give and you feel uncomfortable? And start noticing those things. And then think about, even journal. If you have a journal what comes to you. When was the first time you remembered feeling like you weren't worthy to receive, and just really process those things. Those are really, really important, So yeah, thank you for asking. Mm-hmm.
I think what you just said is important. And then to counter that, it's also important for your partner to listen, for them to be open, and for them to take what you're saying and realize that they may need to give you space to do work. They have to give you the respect to do the work, and they have to be open for things to like not be so overnight. You reveal what your vulnerability was. You reveal where you need to, address, where you feel like you need some help, and then it's up to them to give you the space to do that work. If it includes self work, but if it includes you working together, then they have to be, or they should be, if they're the partner for you, to come on and say, you know what, I got you. Let's do this together. Let me know when I need to step in. Let me know how I can support you. Let me know how I can for you. Those things are also key, but they also build, or should help build, the trust in your communication.
Say it again.
I love that. And then I think that when you have trust on that level, I think that it really increases the ability for you to be more intimate with your partner in ways that you may not be vulnerable or intimate or available for other people. You know what I mean? So um, physical energy.
Yes.
Because if you're able to emote, connect, let go, shed, and be vulnerable together, that's how you become one. That's how you become solid.
Yes.
And then that's when you're one, when you are one with something, when you understand and know something, when you understand and know yourself, when you understand and know your partner, I think it makes those orgasms possible. Those mental orgasms, those emotional orgasms, those physical orgasms.
Yes. Yeah. So PB says, I felt my body was broken for a long time. And I've worked with so many women who says that same thing. And I have too, which is why I'm in this field, right? So a little bit about my story. When I first started having sex, it was in college. And I would have sex with my partner and I would have so much pain, like it would hurt. Well, he was huge, but apart I was like, why is my first one so huge? But he was huge. But apart from that, it was just like painful. And, and he would ask me, he was like, were you abused or raped or something? Like, because I would like tense up. Like, I could not relax at all. I would like tense up. And I was like, no, I wasn't. But I had a lot of shame. I had a lot of guilt because I wanted to wait till I got married before having sex. But then I started having sex. So all of that shame and guilt was still in my mind, in my head. So I couldn't really open up like I wanted to, you know? And so I wasn't able, like, you know, I would enjoy it, but I wasn't having like those full body orgasms. I wasn't squirting. Like, I didn't get to the point where I felt completely good and comfortable with my body, with my skin. And I went to the gynecologist and I was like, you know, what's going on? Like, I just feel pain. I feel like sex is not supposed to be like this. Like, sex is supposed to be really good. And the gynecologist said to me, oh, just try different positions. I was like, I was trying different positions. And she was like, well, your uterus is tilted, and so that's why it's painful. Not helpful at all. Not helpful at all. And a lot of times with gynecologists, even though they're gynecologists and work with women, they don't learn about sexuality. They don't learn about these different things. So all they learn about is, okay, you got this issue, take this medication. You got a yeast infection, you got a STD, take this medication.
Right.
That's it. A lot of them are not
They're not
talking to
think holistically.
Yeah, they don't think holistically. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that as girls or as boys, we don't have a safe space where we can learn good information. We have porn, and what we're learning from porn is like, you watch porn and you're like, well, that doesn't happen when I try that. Well, I don't feel like this when I'm doing that. Because that's not
education. That is exactly how I got my education growing up in the ghetto. I got my education through porn. And I think the education started, if you want to call it education, or my sex edutainment started probably around 1986 when cable television came to Detroit. We had HBO and Showtime. I learned about sex by watching Lady Chatterley's Lover and Emmanuel. Remember those classics?
Yes.
That's what I learned about cunnilingus. And I think by the 8th grade, I was like eating pussy, you know, in the 8th grade.
Right.
It was actually a total mess, but it's what I learned. And I was okay with that. But let me take a step back. Let me talk to my mama. So my mom is like, you know, this kind of like super Christian type person. And I with her, I'll never forget it. She was in the basement washing clothes. And I said, Mom, can we talk about sex? I was in the 8th grade. She says, it's a sin and you don't need to know nothing about it.
Wow.
Conversation. And I was just like, okay.
Right.
And I just went back upstairs. And I did not have a relationship with my father at that time where I felt comfortable enough talking to him. But that's a whole separate story. Based on me moving and issues between my mom and dad and all those things. Like, I was collateral damage. So I was closer to my mom at that time in my life. So I really didn't have an outlet. So everything that I learned on my own. So when you're learning on your own, you're not learning how to take care. I think that over the course of time and over the case of, and over the period of me just being someone who had, you know, high emotional intelligence, that I was able to figure out, like, you know, what does it take in order to please you, in order to make you happy, in order to make you satisfied. But a lot of people aren't emotionally intelligent. They're trying to get theirs. And, you know, some people are concerned about what's happening with their partner and others may not be. And then when you don't communicate and be vulnerable, then you have situations where you're just unsatisfied sexually and you don't get a chance to get what you may want or desire out of a sexual experience. Like squirting, orgasm, nipple orgasms, ear orgasms, eargasms.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about those different types of orgasms. So, and that's the thing, like, we have women, we're so fortunate. We really are. um, we can have like really over 11 different types of orgasms. And our clitoris has about 8,000 nerve endings. The male penis has 4,000, about 4,000 nerve endings, right? So
Well, how
half.
on that one? On the male penis?
The what?
On the nerve endings on the male penis?
4,000?
I think it varies.
Yeah, it varies. So they say up to 4,000. Yeah.
Or not.
It does vary depending on the person. So it's up to 4,000, and with the women it's up to 8,000. And but basically the point is that we have double the amount of nerve endings, right?
Mm-hmm.
So men go up to 4,000, women go up to 8,000. And so we have so much more capacity to feel pleasure. And then women, so when we're having sex, right, we tend to focus on the genitals, the nipples, and kissing, right? PB says orgasms. Yes. So, oh my God, we can have an orgasm just for someone talking, saying something so sexy to us. You know, I can have orgasms from someone scratching on my feet, like going like this on my feet, massaging my head. Oh my God, it feels so good. Like, oh yeah.
Like a hair massage had me like.
Yes. And so honestly, our entire body is orgasmic, but our body goes dormant, right? Because we're not stimulating those areas. So you can have an orgasm from someone giving you a head massage. I have an orgasm from someone giving me a head massage. Then we have cervical orgasms for women, right? So cervical, at the cervix, if the cervical orgasm is really the only type of orgasm where you need a big penis. All the other ones, you don't need a big penis, a big dick, a big cock, whatever you want to call it.
A long penis.
Right. Because so to have that cervical, the cock, the penis has to be able to reach to get the tip of that cervix. And so usually when women are on top, which is what you were experiencing when you were 18 years old, that woman was on top and she was riding, she can get it just right to get that orgasm and squirt, right? But it's so much harder with the man being on top or from doggy style because it doesn't reach all the way up there. So really the best position is for the woman to be on top, unless he's just huge. If he's huge, you can be in any position and he's going to reach that. Okay. Then we have the G-spot orgasm, which is just when you go inside the vagina. It's about 3 inches inside and up at the top, and you'll feel it. Like it feels, if you're feeling all around the vagina, you'll feel a patch like a walnut or pea or something like that, and it feels different. So that's the G-spot. Some women, and every woman is different, just doing this stimulation. Others like going in a circle, playing with the fingers. Some like on the side of the G-spot or on the other side. So it's really just exploring and and seeing what's different. Guys that's coming on, tell me what types of orgasms. Phil already beat me to it that you've noticed. He says nerdgasm. I'm all about the nerdgasm when Captain Kirk says Spock that sort of way. Yes. And so
I always thought it was Spock and Bones.
right.
Like Bones.
Yes. Phoebe said, thank you, Mother Nature, for balancing out since women have double the pain. I know. And then what else? So obviously clitoral orgasms, we can have urine orgasm. Have you heard of that one? So
yeah, I call them pegasms.
Yes, pegasms.
Yeah.
Then obviously anal orgasms, nipple orgasms, stimulating the nipple. So when we were talking about this, when you called me and you asked about that, I was saying how the nipple orgasm for me, it's hard. Like I never used to like being touched on my nipples. Now I'm a little bit better. You can touch. You see me rubbing on mine a little bit in between these words.
Okay, a little touch.
Yellow touch. So now it feels good, but before it was so much pain. People who are coming on, if you're not used to this, and please don't get offended. I mean, it's okay to touch ourselves. It's okay to touch our bodies. It's natural, and you won't go to hell. And I actually want to talk about that real quick. Like your mom said, it's a sin, and I grew up. My parents were also very Christian, and that's why I had all that guilt about having sex before marriage, because I thought I was going to hell too. But now that I got older and I think about it, I'm like, God is supposed to love us, right? God loves us. He's a loving, or she's a loving God. Why would he send you to hell for doing something that's so natural? Like we all come from that.
I went to church. I'm like, I'll send me to hell because I want an orgasm and I want to ejaculate. I'll be okay. It's gonna be hot. Okay.
Yes. And honestly, that whole thing comes about from just trying to dominate and control us, because our sexual energy is the most powerful energy there is. And when we really start connecting to our sexual energy, ain't no stopping us. Ain't no stopping.
I feel like I'm 45. I'll be 46 in September. And I honestly don't feel like I've been, I don't feel like I started having like good sex until like I got divorced. Like I had a lot of sex before I got married, but like after I got divorced, it was like my sex became like, it's like I stepped into my like sexual energy. I think because I wanted to like explore and have, and get what I wanted. But that also comes with being vulnerable and being open.
Yes.
And then I don't know, I think because I'm getting older, I'm like, look, if you can't fuck, we can't be together.
Right.
Please me, we can't be together. And I don't want to just be like, just about fucking. It's deeper than that. Yeah. If you can't stimulate, if you can't, get me to have a bodygasm, a orgasm, in my mind, if you can't stroke my ear the way that I need you to after I teach you how to do it, we need to break the fuck up.
Right. Say that again. I want to zoom in on you. Say that again.
The way that I need you to, we need to break the fuck up.
So true.
I believe that it's our purpose when we're in relationships to seek to ensure that our partners get the pleasure that they deserve and demand respect and need in order for them to feel whole in your relationship. And if I can't fulfill that, then I need to, if I want to be with you, I need to figure out what I can do to get that. And I prefer to be with the partner who feels the same way.
All right. PB's laughing at you. I love it. I love it. I love it. That's so true. That's so true. Phil says, on a serious note, I did have an anal orgasm once and it was intense. Only once? You need to recreate that. Have it more than once.
I've had one anal orgasm and I was getting a prostate massage and it was like the best thing ever. But I don't know if it was like an anal orgasm or what, but it was, I was like, when it was done, like I kind of like wanted to cry.
Yes. So let me tell you.
I was just like,
and it's so I give prostate massage as well to men. And a lot of times I get a lot of men who come in who are straight, right? And I'm like, after I've, done quite a few amount of massages, I'm like, let's do a prostate massage. They're like, what? Oh, hell no. And I'm like, I have to like prepare them for it, and I talk to them about the reasons why it's good and it's beneficial. Because really for men, especially if you have a family history of prostate cancer, then you should be having prostate massages because it will help to reduce the chances of you getting prostate cancer. Because what happens every time that you ejaculate, there's some sperm that goes down into the prostate. And that buildup over time will cause your prostate to get swollen. And so sometimes, men will have the swollen prostate. And then also all of that, like that buildup, it'll staying in there. It can cause a prostate cancer. So what happens when you get a prostate massage, it releases that sperm that's in the prostate gland and allows it to come out. So you're not having that buildup of all that sperm. So it really is important for men to have prostate massage and have and ejaculate or come through that. And my clients, they'll be like, no. Then after like 10 times, 10 sessions trying to convince them, they'll get it done.
We're talking about like it really.
They have the best orgasm that they've ever had in their life. But then it fucks with them because they're like, well, shit, does that mean I'm gay? No, that does not mean you're gay. Our anus has a lot of pleasure spots. Enjoy it. Get out of your head and stop worrying.
And it's also the base of a pleasure center.
I'm sorry?
It's also the base of a pleasure center, like at the base of your spine.
For men and women, we have a lot of nerve endings in the anus as well. So you feel a lot of pleasure in the anus. And so anal sex is great, How does one do a prostate massage?
Good deep shit. You got to pay for that one.
Yeah, you got to pay for that one. Send your partner over to me. Come to Brazil and I will do a prostate massage. Yes, I don't recommend anyone just do a prostate massage, okay? I've been trained.
You just don't jump in there like.
Right, because you might hurt the person. And I'll tell you, my first time doing it, my Tantra course, I lived in a commune for 2 years and we were learning. And I did it with my ex, my boyfriend of the time, my ex now. And the first time I did it, like, he got angry. And it wasn't so much that it hurt, but there's also a lot of different emotions in there. And so you have to, when you're doing it, many different things can come out. And you have to also be in a space or trained to be able to deal with those emotions, those different things that come out. So Phil says, I have given a prostate massage. That is the best way to anal orgasm. But on pure anal sex has been more difficult. Yeah, prostate massage is probably, I don't know. I think it might be prostate massage probably is a lot easier to have the anal orgasm than anal sex. I'm not a pro in anal sex, so I don't know. I'm gonna keep to what I know. Now the prostate massage, I can tell you, yes, lots of pleasure.
Tell me this.
Men have gone.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I was going to ask a question. There's the prostate massage, and then there's also like prostate milking. Are they one and the same? Have you heard of prostate milking?
I've heard of prostate milking. Montauk Chia talks about prostate milking, but I don't know if that's one and the same. And I haven't studied that.
So and the reason why I bring that up, since we're talking like going down a road with things that affect men specifically, there is prostate massage.
Yeah.
Some men enjoy anal sex. Then there's just straight up just digital sex without necessarily a prostate massage. And then if the point is to kind of like, use like a prostate massage as a way to clear the prostate from semen buildup, etc. So there's the one thing, right? And then there's also this school of thought of semen retention.
Yes.
So it's like, what? Do you juice it or do you keep it?
Right. So the whole idea behind the semen retention is for men, when you ejaculate, you lose energy. So the ejaculate has a lot of nutrients, a lot of protein, a lot of vitamins, things that you need. And so when you're ejaculating, you're losing all of that. And it shortens your life, right? So the whole thing about that is that you never ejaculate again.
Right now.
Huh? All right. So the whole premise of that is you never ejaculate again. It way too many times. That you don't ejaculate as often. So maybe it all depends on your age, how often you would ejaculate, and it changes based on your age. For women, we have that same thing, but for women, we lose any energy through menstruation, our menstrual blood, because menstrual blood also has a lot of nutrients. So a lot of the Taoists and tantrikas try to reabsorb the menstrual cycle, and the men ejaculate as opposed to ejaculate to maintain that energy.
Mm-hmm.
But today, not as many people do it. There's a lot of people that's doing it still. It just depends on, where you're at, in your spirituality. Yeah.
I think that's very clear. How open are you? And
Yeah.
are
Phoebe
you
said. Phoebe says. So no prostate massage tips. That's a pay for service. Just so I'm clear. Yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't tell you how to do it. Okay, I'll give you a tip. Make sure your nails are cut and clean. Because if not, they will hurt like hell. But definitely I don't recommend I don't think that just anyone should do it, especially not the first time. I don't know. If you want to try to
before we even get into, even trying to give a tip, there's just a lot that goes with that. Yes. Your partner ready for that.
Yes. Psychological thing for the man.
Your partner has to be ready for that shit. You just can't come home and be like, you know what? I was on this seminar and I learned these new tips and I need you to get on your back.
Right. Right.
That if your partner's not ready for that, that's a conversation.
Yes.
So the first step in a prostate massage, and wanting to give a prostate massage, is a conversation.
Right.
That's the first step. The second step, do you want to put your finger in that person's ass?
Exactly. Because who's going to come out? Who is naturally going to come out? And so
to do an enema, there's a whole thing like you don't want to stick it up in there and come back with a fudge sickle.
Yes. And that's the thing. I prepare my clients. I do tell them to do the enema first. I wear gloves. So, and then there's a whole psychological thing. I don't let them see the gloves when I take it off because they might freak out if they see poop in it. So it's like there's a whole lot of preparation. There's just so much stuff. Like if you feel like Phoebe says, I love how real this live is. It's real. So that's the thing. Like, if you feel like, Phoebe, do you feel like your partner needs to have a prostate massage? Like, do you feel that? And if you feel that, why do you feel that?
Or your partner come to you and said, you know what, this is something I'm interested in. And that's not a real question for you. If you want to answer it, fine, but you don't have to. But that's also part of the conversation that Renee and I had a couple of days ago was about comfort. If your partner is interested in, an activity that may be intimate and or sexual, but you don't know how to do it, you've never done it, you may be uncomfortable with it, or may have some reservation, what is the responsibility? And if you do want to keep your partner happy and meet some of their pleasure needs, how do you break down your own barriers and say, you know what, I'm open to get a prostate massage, or I'm open to fisting, or I'm open to a little light electrocution?
Yeah, because that's the thing too. Like if he's not ready and you guys don't have the conversation, it could go totally south.
Okay, so PB's back. We are ready. Ooh, we already go. Oh shit.
He enjoys it.
Oh shit. Okay, PB. Shit.
Okay. Then you don't need no other tips. You got this, girl. Keep doing what you're doing.
Look, you may, look for prostate massagers. There are many prostate massagers on the market that you can get that can be used where he can self-administer, where he can, put the prostate massager in, or you can help insert the prostate massager. And during the course of your pleasure together, whether you're, working the prostate massager or he's working it himself through his own movements while you're engaged in any type of sexual activity, that's a win-win.
Yes.
If he's massaging it right and like working his own asshole while he's got you in whatever position that makes you feel good, like That may be very intense.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
I'm getting excited.
It's so good to explore different things. I use vibrators on guys. Like I don't have it in here right now, but watch my YouTube on Are Vibrators Bad for You? And you'll see my different vibrators. I have this huge vibrator. I put that on it. It's like the Hitachi wand, magic wand. I put that right in the perineum and they love it. And then sometimes I put it up, going up around the shaft and around the head. Men go crazy. Some men don't like it though, but a majority of the men love it. Love it.
Stop playing.
Oh, so I answered her question. Sorry, yes. So if you got toys, use it on the men too, man. Use it on them.
Clean first. Don't swap.
All right, so Phoebe, I have a question for you because I'm loving this. So you've already gone there. So like when you guys have done this, did you do the whole preparation, do an enema? Did shit come out? Like how was that? Was it okay for y'all? We keep it real. I want to hear from you too.
I got real. I was like, whoa, like I didn't. Like, wow.
Yeah. So I can't wait to see what she says. All right, so let me just say real quick, those of you who's on, don't forget to subscribe. If you have not subscribed, subscribe and hit that notification bell because that's what's going to help you get these little notifications for when I'm coming on live or when I put on a new video. And we having fun talks. And you know what? I decided to extend this beyond May. So these talks have been so good. I'm going to continue on. I'm gonna keep going because these are good and we need to keep having these conversations.
Okay, so PB, they are an enema-friendly couple, so I haven't had any unfortunate reveals. PB sounds good. Where y'all live?
Yes, where do you live? Where do y'all live? Y'all need to come to Brazil for one of my couples retreats.
Where y'all at? I bet you see
Wait, so I'm gonna have a kink retreat. Y'all come on that because you sound like y'all ready to come up to the next level. So my kink retreat is June 12th to the 14th. Is a sacred kink, sexuality in your sexuality. It's only $67. It's virtual. Y'all gonna learn some fun things. So are they in Indiana? Y'all gonna learn some fun things that y'all can do because it sounds like y'all ready. If y'all haven't already tried kink, y'all ready for this next level. Can I get an amen? I think that's her amen.
When it comes to kink, I think people think so many different things. I think people just think whips. There's so many levels to kink in BDSM.
Yes.
There's so many levels. I know, like you were like, Tafari, come to my retreat. And I'm like, you know what? That's not my thing, BDSM, kink, but I also said I do like to get choked.
Right. You did. And I think I said I didn't like being choked. My first experience.
So if you don't like to be choked, and you want to, if you don't like to be choked, your partner should not be choking you. But if your partner wants to get choked, like, are you going to choke?
Hell yeah.
Would you choke?
I will choke that motherfucker. So listen. That motherfucker. Look, I used to have a slave, all right? I'm a dom. So it's so funny because you and I, when we were talking the other day, I realized how we're opposite. Like you like being choked, I don't like being choked. You love your nipples being sucked. I don't like my nipples being sucked. So it's so interesting. Remember I told you I used to
I'm like, suck them, bite them, chew them.
Yes, me no. I I had an ex I was telling you about. I would suck his nipples, and it tasted like onions. I was like, oh,
You got bad pheromones.
yeah, I don't know. But I was like, I couldn't anymore with him. That was grounds for breakup because I was like,
That sounds nasty. Though. It sounds like he had an endocrine disease.
right. So PB says, I'm loving this PB. um, not the onions.
I'm good
So
at
PB says,
it freezes me
I'm
up.
good at performing. It's the receiving that freezes me up. I love rough stuff. Oh yeah. So you know what? I wonder if you're like, have you explored the dom and the sub kind of things? Maybe you're like a dom and you can like, maybe you'll like get off and just like, humiliating. I don't know. Talk to your partner. Come to this kink retreat. How
Yeah,
about that? Um, yes. Phil says, I am the same. I am not into some things on me, but I will do it on others. Yeah. Like, for me, like that first time, I think I was like 20 something years old, and dude was like, can I choke you when you're about to have an orgasm? So I was like, all right, I mean, I'll try anything at least one time. So, I'm open. He was like, yeah, let me choke you. So I was like, all right. So we're like having sex, and I think I'm getting ready to have an orgasm. And then he started going like this. And it was just like, I was like, no. I'm like, this ain't working. This ain't working for me.
I'm the opposite. I'm like, if I'm about to have an orgasm, choke me till you see the whites of my eyes.
Really? Oh my God.
Like when they don't come down for like 45 seconds, let go.
Right.
Let go. If you don't let go,
that's
another 5 seconds.
If they say 5 seconds too long, but you have to really have trust. You really, really have to trust, and you're so vulnerable to be able to get to that point.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's very key. That's where trust comes in. It's definitely where trust comes in.
Yes, for sure. But that's the whole thing. Like for me, I love to feel good. I love to feel pleasure. I'm gonna be straight up. If I'm not feeling something, I will tell you. I will try anything at least one time. Mm-hmm. Even if I don't like it, I'll do it on you. If you enjoy it and it feels good, I'm gonna do it. And I'm gonna enjoy it because I get pleasure seeing you have pleasure. Like I love sucking the hell out of dick, especially if he's feeling it and it's like, and he's feeling so good, like it turns me on even more. So I'm okay with really doing almost anything. Almost anything. I don't know. I gotta be careful what I say.
Situation. I haven't been in a situation where, like, I felt like my limits were tested.
Right.
Except for that one time somebody asked me to spit on them.
I'd be doing right there.
I was like, okay. But I'm like, if that got them off, then
yeah, do it.
Okay, but I'm like this. But some people are into humiliation play.
Yes. Have you ever had anyone ask you to pee on them?
Yes.
Did you?
No. And here's why.
R. Kelly, huh?
No. Here's why. That's a physical thing. Like I physically can't pee while having a fully erect penis. Now, if I'm like I just came or something like that, I'm waking up in the morning and I'm dealing with morning wood. I can pee, but I'm not like fully erect. But like if I'm fully erect and like, ready to do it or whatever, like I cannot pee. There's just, but then like the only way that I could do it, like if I was, flaccid. So like, and I'm not gonna, there would have to be like a real interesting situation where I would knowingly pee on you. And I think a lot of that is just because of the physicality of it all. I guess if we woke up in the morning, I was about to go pee and you wanted to get peed on, like I could.
Yeah.
but like during the course of the actual intimate act, like it would be difficult for me from a physical standpoint because yeah.
Yeah.
I throw on a cock ring and then get semi-hard and then piss.
Say that again.
I could get thrown a cock ring, get semi-hard, and then piss.
Right.
So I can find some alternatives, but I haven't.
Right. Right. Yeah. All right. So Phil says lettuce was our keyword for stop. Definitely have to have a keyword. Definitely. PB says I want to try more kink, but I'm a mom. It's tough to work around that. Any tips? So I asked, how old are your kids? Honestly, like depending on the age of the kids, I mean, if they're old enough and they sleep in their own room, when they're sleeping at night, that's when you and your partner get your kink on. Maybe lock the bedroom door. There's been kids who come into the room and see their parents having sex. And if that happens, it's all good. Just explain to them what was happening. Don't scare them or, freak them out. Be like, mommy and daddy was making love or something.
And being someone who, I have 3 children, intimacy is very different. Like when you have children, especially like if there's like some extra things involved, like maybe there's an additional partner or 2. There may be some BDSM involved. There may be some role play or whatever. It's important to carve that time out. It's important to carve that time out. Just like it's important to carve dinner time out, to grow your family, to maintain a connection with your family. It's important to have date night with your partner or whatever you want to call it, where you maintain intimacy in a situation where there are no children around, so you can decompress together. What was your week like? What was your day like? What do you need from me? How can I help you be successful? This is what I need. This is what I want. Can we talk about our dreams? Right. You have to build that time in. Sexual time, mental time, physical time with your partner in order to be successful in any way in your relationship. So you have to do that work. When your kids go to bed, when they wake up, how, they keep saying, Mom, I want some water, Mom, I want some water, you may be dead tired by 11:30, but shit, get the paddle out.
Right. So their child is 3 years old. And I definitely agree with what you said. That's important. 3, does your child still sleep in the room with you? Because that's that age where they might sleep in the room. Yeah. So I would say if you got grandma, grandpa around,
what are your resources?
Like grandma, grandpa, you watch them for a couple of hours and then you carve out that time to get into your kink stuff, maybe even for a weekend, or that might be a long time for a 3-year-old. But just maybe a night.
I used to get excited when my ex was like, okay, the kids are going away for a weekend. I'm like, yeah. Because it gets time. And like, guess what? Your kids are not going to die.
They're not.
You didn't die. Your kid's not going to die. Let that motherfucker die. Pack that motherfucker bag up. Drop the motherfucker off, and you're going to pick the motherfucker up.
Or if they have an auntie or uncle, auntie or uncle, send them to the auntie or uncle.
Don't send them to the auntie.
I was that auntie. So I was that auntie who would spend like a week with my nieces and nephews, because my sister and her husband, they would travel for a week, go do whatever they were doing, maybe getting their freak on, or supposedly for work. And I would stay there and watch the kids, and it was great. Like, I loved it, but that's why I don't have kids right now. I'm like, I got 10 nieces and nephews, and I love them. I love every last one of them. But you know what? I'm like, I can't have kids. This is great to be able to have them, to be with them, and then to be able to send them back home.
Yes, definitely.
But I just realized it's not for me, it's not, and it's all good. But I enjoyed that time. And I was a great auntie. I think I was that crazy auntie. Everybody got a crazy auntie. I was that crazy auntie.
The crazy one, the fun one, the one everybody want to be with.
Exactly. Yep. I got my nieces now. My nieces be like, Auntie, can you teach me how to give a penis massage? I'm like, yeah, I got you, girl. This is what you do. You teach me how to give a massage? Yeah, I got you. My nephew be like, my auntie teaches people how to have sex and teaches sex. How cool is that? I'm like,
And you're international, okay? Check the record.
yeah.
Well, I have to get ready to bounce and get ready for my nighttime situation.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to picking this conversation up with you tomorrow on Instagram.
Yes, yes. So we're gonna be doing our part two. Obviously, it's not gonna be the same, but we're gonna continue on. We're gonna continue on. This is all just like, off the top of our head, just conversation. And
Yeah.
so join us on Instagram at Prondata Prim or I am Husky Bay. So IG live tomorrow. Go ahead and talk while I type in our IG lives.
So tomorrow we're gonna continue this conversation same time, but on Instagram you can follow Renee at Prindata Prim on Instagram, or you can follow me, and you can follow me, and or you can follow me. Follow me on Instagram.
Follow me.
Follow me on Instagram. I'm at I am Husky HUSKYBAE. We're going to continue this conversation. It's going to be fun. It's going to be off the cuff. We're going to come back at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or 9 p.m. if you happen to be in South America, Brazil specifically.
Yes. So Phil, you said, oh my God. Go ahead. Sorry.
It's going to be fun. Well, Phil, bring your ass back, okay, tomorrow.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I was going to say, Phil says he loves Tafari, so bring your ass to Instagram.
Yeah, it's going to be lit. And guess what? I'm going to have on the same motherfucking outfit.
So you know what? I have on my house clothes. It'll be the same outfit every day. I only change to do my lives. And I'm like, I change to do my lives, and then I put back on my house clothes because it's comfortable and easy.
So this is what's funny. When I was in Ghana back in March, like I had so many clothes made. I came back with like a suitcase and a half filled with clothes that I had made.
Right.
I still have clothes arriving from Ghana right now. I have 3 shipments of clothes arriving over the next 2 weeks, literally. And I work in the community, so I'm always out. But like, of course, like I haven't been out in the community. So I just been at home. So I'm like, I'm wearing all this fancy ass, fresh ass shit on my motherfucking life.
Right.
So I'm gonna change my outfit tomorrow. I'm gonna put on some fresh shit. How about that?
Yes. Let me see if I can. All right. So real quick, put on some fresh shit tomorrow. So for PB. PB also says, good Tafari, you are thoughtful about our natural resources. I love this, PB. So about the kink retreat, it's going to be Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's not going to be all day at the computer. Go to my website. This is the site right here. I put it on here. Just copy and paste, go to it. There's the schedule, and there's going to be certain hours, and we have it set up where there's breaks in between. So it's not all day long, because I know people got things to do. So we'll do one sitting, like 2 hours, then there's a break, and then there's like an hour, then there's a break. And then there's one point where there's like 3 or 4 hours, and we go again at night. So there's different times. If you can't set in for all of it, look at the schedule and decide what parts you want to come into, what parts you want to join. And organize your schedule. Plan that way. There's enough time now so you can plan and make sure that you can attend the workshops that you want to attend. And it's only $67. We're doing this at a cheap rate because, we're in this quarantine and know that people might be having difficulties and things like that. So we're not making
that narrative. It's at a cheap rate. It's at a reduced rate due to COVID-19 and the sensitivities that we have for other people's finances. We want to make it available for everybody. We're putting it within reach.
I love you. I need to hire you to be my own spokesman.
We're putting it within reach.
Yes.
No, it's cheap. It's not cheap. We're putting it in reach.
Yeah.
The you're going to walk with is going to be rich. It's at a community offering level so that it's within reach for most people. Use your unemployment dollars.
Yes.
Use
Yes.
your stimulus dollars. Stimulate yourself, your soul, your conscious, your sexuality, your relationship for only $67. A price
Yes.
that's within reach for any motherfucker with Wi-Fi and a phone or a computer on this live. You got it.
I'm hiring you. Because that's the thing, because normally, so I do retreats yearly, and my retreats are like $3,000, and I do them in Brazil. And so, you know, right now, doing them virtual, and I've already done quite a few, and they've been really great. And yeah, and that was the whole idea of making them accessible for many people to be able to access it and get the support that they need, get something different, because right now we're in a time when we actually need some resources. We need to be able to think about different things and not just about this virus all the time. You know,
The virus is too much to think about.
yes, too much. TV says, now that's the stimulus package I can get behind.
Yeah. Think about living your life more richly. This is a time where we can start to really invest in ourselves in ways that are not necessarily at cost. There are so many ways that you can find to invest in yourself with your own riches that are at your table right now. You know, participating in these type of conversations where we're just coming together. You're in Rio, I'm in Detroit, and we're sharing information, we're sharing knowledge with other people who are coming to the table with this conversation. This is richness.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Let's continue to share that. Let's support one another through this community. All of this takes something. So
yeah,
we're supporting community.
Yes. Awesome.
Reach.
Yes. Thank you. You know what? I love you, Tafari. This was great. Like I feel like I could continue talking to you for the next hour. But yes, we're gonna continue this tomorrow at 7 p.m. We're gonna continue this tomorrow on Instagram because we want to make sure our Instagram family is happy too. And so come on, join us, add us on Instagram, Prandata Prim, I am Husky Bay. Add us on there, follow us, and don't forget to add me or subscribe to me on YouTube. Hit that notification bell, and we will see you guys tomorrow.
Thank you so much. It was exciting with you all. And Renee, thank you so much for your energy and time and being open to my bullshit.
I think this was awesome. When you called me, I was like, we need to do this on live. This is going to be fun. We need to have this talk on live. This talk cannot just be for the two of us.
You know, Renee and I had some really juicy conversations.
Yes.
You know what? Like, I'm a very public person. Renee's a very public person. Like, together, we're kind of like, two loud-ass motherfucking Virgos. We loud as fuck.
Yeah.
But we have a lot of, like, intimate conversations. And sometimes I'm like, just based on our own nature, I'm like, other people need to hear this.
Yes.
Because, you know, some of the stuff we talk about is like really basic, but then we like really start to delve into it. And it's like, you know, this is a little bit richer and like more robust than just a conversation between you and I. And I'm like, you know what? I consider myself to be a basic Negro from Detroit, Michigan, born in Birmingham, Alabama, raised in the tough streets of Detroit. And I don't know everything. I know a lot. Don't get me wrong. I have 3 degrees. I know a lot.
You're smart. You're smart.
Well, 2 of the degrees are 2 associates, but we won't get into it. Okay. But I'm just really being silly. But I do appreciate you being open to, you know, me having these random conversations with you, and then finding ways that we can really share this topic, share this information, because it may be basic to me, or I may think that these questions may be basic, but they're real questions that can really help people, because, you know, sex education isn't happening at homes. Right. It's not happening at schools, because people are saying we can teach that at home, but they're not. Next thing you know, pregnancy rates are ridiculous.
Right.
Rates are ridiculous. Shame, guilt, depression through relationships, harmful situations are rampant because we're not having discussions. And just imagine if you and I were able to have this discussion with a friend 20 years ago, where would we be right now?
Right, exactly.
If I was able to talk to my friends or a community about, you know, how do we get to a total sense of pleasure? How do we rid ourselves of trauma? How do we access trauma? How do we talk about trauma? How do we talk about pleasure in ways that aren't just about carnal release, but in ways
Right.
that can help us heal and be our best selves so that
Yes.
for other people? Imagine if you were able to have that conversation 20 years ago. So now,
Preach.
right? So now, I have a daughter. She's 22, and I have off the wall conversations with her. And I'm the dad that she can talk to. Well, this is what happened, and I'm not going to say, "Oh, he whipped that thing, you whipped that thing," or anything like my father would say. But we would talk about safety and talk about you stepping into yourself with your romance, your love language, your ability to connect with someone on not just a physical level, but here,
Right.
here,
Yes.
here, and here, and here.
Mhm.
It's not all about that. They made me,
Right.
they made me feel real good. That ain't shit. Anybody can make you feel real good, but will that motherfucker make you cry just by looking at your ass?
Ooh. Mm.
Yeah.
All right, let's continue this
That's
tomorrow.
what we're talking. Anyway, thank you, Renee. I
All
look
right.
forward to picking this up tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard
Yes.
Time. I'm happy to be in South America.
Yes. All right. So thank you guys for coming on. Thank you guys for your questions, for your responses, everything. This has been so much fun. Love you guys. Thank you. And hope to see you tomorrow for part 2 on Instagram.
Ciao.
Bye. Thank you, Tafari. It's
Okay, bye.
awesome. Bye.